Hello and welcome aboard. Today we're going to be talking about vertical wet venting, but before we do that, I would like to show you something that is starting up right now. And if you were to go to, let's say, BG's Plumbing Class, which is the YouTube channel, and you click on this link right here, it takes you straight over to Plumb It Right Academy. This is my class. Anybody who would like to take the class, you can do up-to-date plumbing code training. Classes are $350. There's an entire Canvas course. There's an entire course parameter based on uniform plumbing code, international plumbing code. We're also going to be doing advanced system designs. That's going to be coming up soon. Blueprint reading for any plumber who needs to learn how to do blueprint reading. The 30 years I've been doing this, the 26 years I've been teaching, blueprint reading and advanced system design are two of the more asked about topics. A lot of people need that. And then also to me, plumbing code obviously is very important. So the classes are designed for people who are learning code or getting ready to take their journeyman's exam, or anybody who just wants an update. So that's where we're at. Again, this is my YouTube channel. This is where this will be posted. And if you wanted to go to the link, it takes you straight to this academy. And this is where you can sign in and at least get in touch with me. So if you have any questions about this, just go ahead, feel free to hit me up. Now, let's get into vertical wet venting. We're going to start off with the Uniform Plumbing Code section 908.1. And again, this is just vertical wet venting. Another video is going to be coming up here soon on horizontal wet venting. For vertical wet venting in the Uniform Plumbing Code, it is limited to the vertical drain pipe receiving the discharge from the trap arm of 1 and 2 fixture units that also serves as a vent not exceeding 4 fixtures. So by not exceeding 4 fixtures, what we're talking about, and again, it's 1 and 2 fixture unit fixtures, right? Not exceeding 4 fixtures. So let's say we have a kitchen sink, a laundry sink, a tub, and for the heck of it, a shower. All right. Each one of these is 2 fixture units. So these are 2 fixture unit fixtures, and there's 4 of them. So a total fixture unit value of 8. I can do up to 8 fixture units on a wet vented section. That's what that portion talks about. Okay, so we're going to get a lot of this out of the way. Okay, and the wet vented fixtures shall be within the same floor, provided further that the fixtures with a continuous vent discharging into the wet vent shall be within the same story as the wet vented fixtures. So everything has to be on the same floor. Right? And also no wet vented section shall exceed 6 feet. And that's not going to be a problem for a vertical wet vent, because most vertical wet vents are pretty much what we did in the intro drawing. You have the lav, you have a tub, and you have a water closet. Right? Water closet, tub and shower, and a lab. And floor penetration. Okay? That's pretty much a wet vented section for a bathroom group. Bathroom group is a lab, a water closet, and a tub, or tub and shower, or shower. This is where it differs with the Uniform Plumbing Code and the International Plumbing Code. Actually, the International Plumbing Code is quite different. But sizing. The vertical piping between 2 consecutive inlet levels shall be considered the wet vented section. So this is a wet vented section in between 2 consecutive inlet levels. The lab is one inlet, the tub is the other inlet. That's a wet vented section. This is also a wet vented section. So this wet vented section is between the tub and the water closet. However, it's picking up more than what the distance between the lab and the tub is. The lab in this one here is the drainage for the lav and the vent for the water closet and the tub. Okay. This section here, that's a wet vented section for the drain of the lav and the tub and the vent for the water closet. Okay? So that's the difference between the two wet vented sections. However, they are both wet vented sections. It's two wet vented sections. Okay? That is what that is. And we'll go back to this in just a second. But in the interest of space constraints, we'll get rid of these and still talk about this highlighted area. Okay, so let's highlight and do a blue. The vertical piping between two consecutive levels shall be considered a wet vented section. Each wet vented section shall be not less than one pipe size exceeding the required minimum waste pipe size. So we need to be not less than one pipe size exceeding the required minimum waste pipe size of the upper fixture, or it shall be one pipe size exceeding the required minimum pipe size for the sum of the fixture units in each wet vented section. Okay? So we have to be one pipe size larger than what the drain size is, or what the drain fixture unit value dictates. Okay? So we go to the drainage fixture unit values. The drainage fixture unit value for here is 1 because it's just the lab. And again, we're only talking about this section here. All right? Because it's 1, Uniform Plumbing Code, 1 fixture unit value is 1.25 inches. So 1 pipe size larger dictates I can run it at 1.5 inches. Okay? But we need to look at this. No case less than 2 inches in diameter. So there's a couple parameters here that we're looking at. This, in general, just says you can't do 1.5 inches. It has to be at least 2 inches, which works out because, so we're going to go ahead and say this is 2 inch. The requirement for a water closet, a water closet has to have at minimum a 2 inch vent. And that is table 703.2 note 3. It dictates that water closet has to have a 2 inch vent. Okay. It excludes it. You have to be 2 inch. All right. So it is at least 2 inch at that point. Now we come down and we have this part here. And that is a lab and a tub. So this is 3 fixture units. The same table that we were talking about. Minimum requirement for a drain for 3 fixture units is 2 inch pipe. So at minimum, I have 2 inch pipe for the drain size, which means I have to bump it up an additional size, takes it up to 2.5, which doesn't exist. So it's 3 inch. At minimum, this section of piping has to be 3 inch pipe. So now we're looking at a vent of 3 inch here and 2 inch here, which means let's go ahead and get rid of all these little calculations here and do our sizing. 2 inch, 3 inch. Tub trap arm can be 1.5 inches. Lab trap arm can be 1.25 inches. Water closet at minimum is 3 inch, which means my drain here is 3 inch, which means my vent up here is 2 inch. There's the sizing for everything right there on the Uniform Plumbing Code. Okay. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what vertical wet venting is in the International Plumbing Code. So this is the IPC. Okay. Vertical wet vent is permitted, but it's only permitted in this one section. Remember, we were talking about kitchen sinks, laundry sinks, any 2 fixture unit value fixture, right? This is where it differs in the International Plumbing Code, aside from a couple other things, and you'll see in a second. But any combination of fixtures within two bathroom groups. So now International Plumbing Code is limiting it to just bathroom groups, but it's two bathroom groups. So I can have two water closets, two tubs, tub shower, two lavatories. I could also have a bidet in there and also emergency floor drains. That's all considered part of a bathroom group. So the same example for what we were doing earlier with the lav, and we had a tub over here. And we had a water closet. So the same example, lav, tub, water closet, floor penetration, right? And the wet vented section, the vertical wet vent shall be considered to be the vent for the fixtures and shall extend from the connection of the dry vent here. Where are we at here? From the dry vent down to the lowest fixture unit or fixture drain connection, which is down here. So everything in between, that's my wet vented section. Same thing, okay? Just different, slightly different in the parameters, right? So each wet vented fixture shall connect independently to the vertical wet vent. So each one of these, the tub, the lav, the water closet, it's all tying in independently. They're not like we're not throwing a lav off of this, you know. We're not putting a lav here. That would be ridiculous. You can't do that. Not in a wet vent, vertical wet vent. So that's not possible. Everything is independent. Water closet drains shall connect at the same elevation. So if I had two water closets, right, so two bathroom groups, they'd have to tie in together. So I'd have to put a water closet in at the same elevation, right? And we're not doing that in this example. Other fixture drains. So right here shall connect above or at the same elevation as the water closets. So I could, in theory, run the tub off the same elevation of the water closet, which we'll be doing again. We'll be doing that towards the end of this little demonstration. But nothing ties in below the water closet, okay? It's very important. And the dry vent connection to the vertical wet vent shall be an individual or common vent serving one or two fixtures. And the dry vent connection is this part, okay? That is dry, right? It's not wet. There's nothing above that. It's all dry vent, okay? All right, now, this is it. Sizing of this particular vertical wet vent, a little bit different, okay? It's still going to be sized based on fixture unit values, okay? It's still going to be sized based on what is going through, okay? For the IPC, 1.5 is minimum on the vents, and 1.5 has, so we will go, actually, let's write this down for you. Let's put down here, 912.3. So this is table 912.3. These are your wet vent size parameters. For 1.5, it's one fixture unit. For 2-inch, it is a total of 4 fixture units. And for 3-inch, we have a total of 12 fixture units. All right? So keep this in mind. This is what we're looking at, and this is what we're basing everything off of, okay? This portion here, is one fixture unit. This portion here is one fixture unit. That means for one fixture unit, I can do 1.5. So this size is 1.5. Fixture unit value here is a lav and a bathtub, that's 3, which means I can run this at 2-inch. There is no base requirement in the International Plumbing Code for a minimum vent size requirement of 2-inch for a water closet. What they dictate is a water closet, which is 3 fixture units. The vent size has to be 1/2 the diameter. So 3 times 1/2 is 1.5 inches. So I could, in theory, run my water closet vent at 1.5 inches. However, we do the wet vented section off of the drainage fixture units going down. So I have 3 fixture units in this section here. There's 3 fixture units. Those 3 fixture units, 2-inch pipe. Now, remember I told you this port, other fixture drains shall connect above or at the same elevation as water closets, right? Let's highlight this. Same elevation as the water closets. So let's change this a little bit. And let's go ahead and tie in. And again, this is just the drawing. That fitting probably doesn't exist. But for all intents and purposes, this is your tub. Tying in the same elevation. That fixture, you'd end up using a double fixture fitting or a double Y with a couple of eighth bends on there. Just to make that work, chances are you'd be coming out this way and run your water closet like so. But we're not going to do that right now. I'm just showing that they're tying it at the same elevation. If they're tying it at the same elevation, this whole highlighted section here, it's just draining the lav. So your vent for the whole thing, if your tub and your water closet terminate and tie into each other at the same elevation, everything is 1.5 inches. So there's your difference between the two. International Plumbing Code and Uniform Plumbing Code. There you go. Any questions, please feel free, make a comment. Let's stop sharing. Now, any comments, any questions that you have, feel free, ask away. I will respond. Also, remember to take a look, check it out, Plumb It Right Academy. And I'm here to help you. I'm here to help anybody. That's what I like to do. And I'll see you soon. I appreciate you. And thank you for watching. Oh, almost forgot. Please like and subscribe. There should be a little icon in the bottom right corner, a little copper fitting. Please hit that button to subscribe. And hope to hear from you soon. Hope to talk to you later. And hope to see you in my class at Plumb It Right Academy.